Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duckbricks. I'm Chris, and a couple years after I posted an insane LEGO shopping journey around Singapore, I decided to go back and bring some LEGO friends with me as we go to level 2 and explore everything Singapore has to offer when it comes to LEGO shopping. A lot has changed since the last time I went there and got a chance to go to a crazy LEGO warehouse, find a ton of sealed Bionicle sets and ship them home, because this time, things could be even crazier. I mapped out an entire itinerary hitting as many used and new LEGO stores as I could around Singapore and brought my friends on a crazy Singaporean LEGO shopping journey. So join me as we uncover some really rare discontinued items, get a chance to visit some really special collections within Singapore, and try to do all of this in the course of just a day or maybe even two. Let's jump over to Singapore right now. Every good crazy LEGO hunt has to start with the most important thing, fuel to last you the entire adventure. And so, we kicked off the day at the Zion Riverside Food Center, one of my favorite places to eat in Singapore that's literally a food market filled with restaurants that are on the Michelin Guide, except they're all basically at food stalls. It is such a unique experience eating here, and of course, we had to dock into some delicious duck. Joining us on this adventure are the usual suspects: Ziddy, Jonathan, Mini Superheroes Today, Sean Bricks My Mind, Ethan the Artisan, Christo the Stud City, and Christo's friend, Minifig Bin, a local AFOL in Singapore who was also happy to show us around. And shout out to Minifig Bin for being so awesome, giving us the best tour of Singapore, and just joining us for all of our crazy adventures. Now, it was very easy to decide on the first stop to hit, and that was Toys Hunt because it literally was right across the street from where we ate. Now, Toys Hunt is a store I've been to before, and it isn't really the largest one, but it was a good way to start our day with something a little bit more simple and not quite as crazy as things were about to get. Now, in Toys Hunt, we got to see all sorts of different rare sets on display, but obviously most of these were sealed, and I wasn't really needing to pick up any of these super rare items here because I already had them in my collection, so all I did was buy a couple of different keychains. Specifically, they had a Lloyd ZX keychain for around $7 US, and I'm trying to collect all the Ninjago keychains, so I had to pick that up. Still, it was cool seeing some of my all-time favorite vintage LEGO sets on shelves here, from the original Medieval Market Village to the 2011 Millennium Falcon, which I remember having so much fun with as a kid. This was a total blast from the past, and one thing that was very striking about many of these stores in Singapore, and especially during our entire Asia trip, was the fact that so many items were sealed in their original packaging. In fact, despite the fact that I usually call these used LEGO stores, there was barely any used LEGO to be found, and 99% of the older items were still mint in sealed box, which is very cool from a collector standpoint, but for me, as somebody who loves opening up LEGO, I will open up literally every LEGO box just to play with the contents inside. I usually prefer buying used because I know I'm going to open it anyway. It was very, very cool though. I had a total blast going around here, and that wasn't all. Going on from there though, we decided to pay a visit to Toys R Us, which was just a few stores down, and we noticed something very interesting. There was a Singapore exclusive free LEGO metal gold keychain with a 90 Singaporean dollar spend, so that's around $75 US, on any LEGO sets between September 12th to October 31st. Now, specifically, you were only able to get one of these 3 keychains depending on what day you made your purchases. So, thankfully, the one that they actually had available was the one I was most interested in. The one labeled Dad. There's the mom, dad, and kid, but the dad keychain was literally just the regular minifigure with no hair, and I figured that was the most iconic of them all, so I was really happy to be able to pick that one up. I basically just purchased a set I already owned, the V-19 Torrent, because you can always have more starships in your Republic clone fleet, and was able to get the keychain to go alongside it, which was a really nice surprise. I also wanted to highlight that I thought it was really funny that Toys R Us had a top spender contest for LEGO here in Singapore. They are lucky they do not have that in the US, because Duck Bricks would be just clearing the top prize every month. They would have to shut the contest down or just mail me the prizes direct. It is really funny. I've never seen like a top spender contest at any store before other than here at the Toys R Us in Singapore, and of course there were some very cool store displays like the Ninjago one right there as well. But from there, things started to get crazy because our next location was Secret Chamber. Now, Secret Chamber is an absolutely legendary store. The last time I was there, I spent a ton of money buying up sealed Bionicle sets, sealed Ninjago sets. They had pretty much everything you could possibly hope for, and well, they had basically the same stuff as they did 2 years ago, but even wilder. So let's take a look inside the Secret Chamber right now. I am in Secret Chamber, Singapore, one of the craziest vintage Lego stores in the world, and yes, I am clearing all of this Bionicle is coming home with me. This is insane for my sealed Bionicle collection. I don't even collect anything sealed really, except for Bionicle. So it's time to dock in. But if I get one set, I'm gonna have to ship a box home because I'm out of space. Even
in which case you might as well just get a bunch of sets, right, mine?
Yeah, he needs to lock in.
Dock in.
Dock in, dude.
I'm cooked. I'm cooked. I think I'm clearing.
You're cooked.
Bro. No one will know what this means other than Bionicle fans, but sealed Toamata movie is coming home with me today.
That thing's cool.
They found even more sealed boxes. Oh my god. The duck is cooked.
Imagine it's more, then it actually is more.
I think the duck is braised.
It was about halfway through filming the video clips you're seeing here that I realized I had to have a very serious sit-down conversation with my pal Jonathan, aka Mini Superheroes today. You see, both of us had arrived in Singapore after a crazy Lego shopping adventure in Hong Kong, Shanghai, Beijing, Denmark, and Germany, and our luggages were full. Not only did I have to check in 4 luggages, but I also was utilizing all of my buddy Zach's luggage and my entire hand carry bag as well. So if I bought just one item, just one single item, heck, even a poly bag from this store, it would mean I would have to ship a box home to Seattle. And at that point, why not buy everything? Let's see us deliberate right now.
Me and DB are having a little huddle here. We're plotting. So the problem is, both of us are completely out of luggage space.
100%. My luggages have not been opened since I got here. I am out.
Yeah. Mine are open, but only to let air in. Nothing can come out. Aaron from Ninjago.
Aaron, where are his parents?
But then you find something like this that I've only ever seen on eBay. And when it is on eBay, it's from some far away place, like Singapore. And so I have to have this. It's a non-negotiable. But the point is...
So you are getting this no matter what?
Non-negotiable. Yeah, non-negotiable.
Oh, man.
And like, you could open it and take it out, but the packaging is mint condition. So here's the point that we are reaching.
Yeah.
If we buy anything here, it probably necessitates shipping home a giant box.
Yes.
But then if you're going to get the giant box, why not just get a ton of stuff because you've already passed the threshold?
Yeah.
This is a very difficult position to be in. A blessing to be in at all, to like be able to get stuff. But oh my god.
I've never seen this before. What? Yeah.
The plot thickens. So can you guys see what the problem is? And this is only the second store that we're planning to hit.
Yeah,
so.
we have one more crazy store after this. See, my problem is they have literally hundreds of Bionicle sets, and they're all priced better than Bricklink. But if I even get one, as he said, I'm gonna need to get a big box. So I don't know, like I'm on the fence.
2?
Yeah. I'm just on the fence of like, if I get one, I have to get them all. Whoa.
I had this growing up. I shouldn't say past tense. I know where it is at my mom and dad's house. But these are the problems, folks. And we're solving them together, like always.
Wish us luck. This was like 2007.
Duck Bricks is clearing.
I don't know about clearing. I don't know about clearing.
Duck Bricks.
So, Duck Bricks is in fact clearing out the Bionicle. And don't worry, they do have a lot more stock in the warehouse. I did confirm, so for those who do want to go to this store, it will be restocked very quickly because they apparently have like an unlimited supply of Bionicle sets in the warehouse. And all the boxes back there, at least many of them, still have Bionicle in them. So Duck Bricks is clearing out what they have today, but more will be here. I got one of everything because I would like to complete a sealed Bionicle collection, and I feel like this is a pretty good place to, I mean, not start because I have a lot sealed already, but to continue my sealed journey. So this is pretty crazy, but there's so much more to see here.
Lego hidden side.
What an insane set of decisions made. You see, there was one set I really wanted, and that was Kongu Mari. I have never seen Toa Mari Kongu sealed from 2007, and when I checked Bricklink, it was not really available sealed at all, which meant that if I wanted a sealed copy, I had to pick it up here. And if I was buying one, well, that meant I had to ship it home, which meant I probably should just go ahead and buy more. You see, I have always dreamt of having a sealed Bionicle set collection. I have collected a lot of the earlier sets from 2001 to, I would say, 2002 and 2003, mostly in part due to Christian Faber's generosity, one of the co-creators of Bionicle, gifting me many of his sealed Bionicle sets that were actually sent to him as test items, but mostly all of those items are from 01 to 03, maybe a couple of 2004. 2005 onwards, it is very spotty in terms of my sealed Bionicle collection, and I realized that, well, this was a pretty perfect opportunity. Almost all of 2009, 2008, and a whole lot of 2007 and 2006 were present at this store, meaning that if I bought every single item, one of every item at this store, I'd probably only need a couple of sets here and there to actually have a fully sealed Bionicle collection, and well, wouldn't that make for an insane video? And so I decided to go ahead and fully clear it, and I cannot wait for those to arrive back home. Is the city gonna cop?
Oh, dude, this is cool.
You already got your allotted Bionicle for this trip.
I got my one Bionicle.
Correct.
Maybe at some point we'll have to add another one.
Yeah.
But the one you got sealed, I don't remember his name.
Maxilos and Spinax.
Yeah, pretty cool. So I still gotta build them. Maybe that'll start a deep path.
Yeah.
We'll see for now.
When the shop owners realized I was indeed serious about buying one of every single Bionicle item they had in the store, as well as a good amount of Ninjago too, they began to count everything up, and as things were being tallied, the buddies and I gathered to play a little game of Price is Right. And I invite the audience to guess as well. There was a price allotted to all of the items that I picked up at Secret Chamber, and I am very curious if anybody is able to guess the exact number. In fact, later on, as soon as these sets are delivered to my house all the way back in Washington, I'm living in New York right now, but I'm sending these back to my main LEGO collection, I will do a follow-up video and reveal exactly how much money I spent. So get your guesses in now, and we'll see who's able to guess the correct number. 9.2 USD. 10K USD.
I'm gonna go 11. I know it's crazy.
Well, okay,
11K.
You were just at 9. All of a sudden I say 10. You go
When I said 6,500, I was making an Ethan joke.
It's really good.
Any other guesses?
8K for me.
8K.
6,500.
For context, Ethan the Artisan had been paid $6.5 thousand US by yours truly for a special LEGO wooden train he had found earlier in the trip. He also may or may not have spent like a sixth of that money on it. Thanks, Ethan.
Dude, great find, DB. This is awesome. Whoa, look at this. Chima cake.
Going around Secret Chamber was a total blast, and I actually will have a full store tour of Secret Chamber coming out around the same time I actually publish Bringing the Bionicle Haul Home. I'm gonna make that its own video, so stay tuned for that, and right now enjoy the vlog where we kind of just explore around the store and see what we can find, because the finds here were totally crazy.
Gosh, that'd be cool to get this weekend.
I had that as a kid, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I always wanted that one. That's so cool. Oh my god, that's one of my all-timers. We saw it in Hong Kong and it wasn't for sale, and now it is for sale, but I can't get it home.
One of my favorite things about Secret Chamber was just how organized it was. Every single LEGO theme was sorted into its own category, and every single shelf was dedicated to one particular theme. It was really easy to be able to locate and find sets, and especially coming from the chaos of the Hong Kong markets, which admittedly were very fun in their own very chaotic way, it was very nice to go into a store as orderly as this one and be able to see every single set that they had currently available from one particular theme them just all on shelves, and also with every box in basically pristine condition, which is absolutely not something you see every day. They had sets from all different eras of LEGO, mostly from the early 2000s, which I would say was the LEGO I personally grew up with, so for me it was extra special being able to go around here and see all of these really special LEGO items and super rare LEGO items as well, just hanging out on store shelves, and for the rarest boxes, even seeing them protected by cardboard around all the boxes themselves. Secret Chamber had absolutely one of the craziest selections of LEGO that I think all 6 of us had ever seen. But that was not it, because this was not our final destination, and there were so many other places to go. And so we decided to take a quick journey over to our next location, which I actually visited a previous version of it back in the last LEGO Singapore trip I did. I got a chance to get a full-on tour of the old version of this place, but it is new and improved in a brand new location, and that is Brickverse Singapore. So let's check that out right now.
Crazy.
What is Mini Superheroes today digging through?
Green Space Army Builder.
It's actually what I did with that set when it came out. That was uncannily good.
Like Zoink Scoop.
we got the duo right here.
Someone's treasure.
We pull in every box.
I pulled those ones.
Anything cool in them?
Yeah. Shit.
I think there's cool stuff in every box.
That's true. Ooh, which one is that? Is that the
This
car?
is the Venom car.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that one's a good one.
Wow.
I had that one too.
Oh, Toy Story.
What
so
year is
fun.
That's classic.
This
Oh,
one
there's
is
more.
2013. This is probably 2009.
I want to say
10.
10.
Yeah. That was a cool set.
There's different stuff underneath. They had the Ghostbusters car, the female Ghostbusters one.
Oh wow.
Oh,
God,
wow.
Look how many.
So
Ooh, Joker Steamroller.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's a good one too.
It's like a movie.
Yeah, the flying car.
You never know what you're gonna pull out.
We're excavating.
Lego box.
He's gonna pull out a box
Level
of
3.
stacked of those like Star Wars Comic Con
Oh
movie.
my
Yeah.
God. Not for sale.
Not for sale. Not for sale. Not for sale.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is the
My eye goes to that first.
Yeah.
The ghost.
I'm surprised that's what your eye goes to and not the Brainiac ship or the Superman set.
Well, I think I've seen these a little bit more often. than
That's
the
true.
Ghost. But yeah, this is cool. Technically the only retail set to come with Supergirl.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
My eye went to this one first.
Ultra
Agents.
First ever Superman
Oh,
set.
that's a good one.
Wow.
Man of Steel.
Oh.
Captain
ever
America's
Captain America.
Avenging
Probably
Cycle.
One of my first Marvel. Like,
I might cop this. This is pretty cool. It's cool.
Oh, this GW2.
Yeah. I might grab it. Was it? I don't think it. I think it was retail.
Retail promo.
I think it was a retail promo, or just like a retail set. I saw that. Yeah.
Everyone in this room probably has one.
That is super
No, he's
cool.
coming out the
We're
toilet.
gonna get a new one, right? Yeah.
He's coming out the twilight zone. The guy who designed this. Oh, okay. He's one who designed a few of his sets got Jeremy Samo, you makan all the
Ninja Turtle.
Ninjago.
Ninjago.
Dude, I wish.
The mind.
The mind. The mind. The mind.
Level 4.
Level 4. Oh,
Wow, that is amazing.
that's a good
There's
box.
another V19.
Republic tank.
That is incredible.
Oh my goodness.
This box doesn't go quite as deep because these boxes are so tall.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That is cool.
Leonardo.
You can just spend the rest of your life digging through these boxes. Don't mind if I do.
There's so many to go.
We'll probably find the Ark of the Covenant. in
I
there if we
think
dig
so.
long enough.
Yeah, from this angle, it kind of looks like that warehouse. City swiping the card.
Man, I wish that you don't have the Star Wars ones.
No.
No.
Yes, bro.
Oh man. Problem is I have black light.
Oh my god. Duckman!
So do all these
Whoa.
boxes have stuff in them too?
Oh my god. Gentlemen, a full shipper box of fell beasts.
So the first thing you see when entering Bricksverse is this incredible Rivendell mock. I absolutely love the way they took the template of the Lego set with the roofing technique and the color scheme, but turned it into a massive and sprawling build, which really evokes the feeling of Rivendell from the Lord of the Rings movies. I honestly got so distracted just staring at all the little details here, it was almost more interesting to me than the sets they had available for purchase. And so, while the others began to raid the shelves and hunt for lost treasures, I spent quite a lot of time just staring at this insane Lord of the Rings and Marvel minifigure collection and literally marveling at this incredible mock. Shout out to the mock builders who put this together and had it on display at Bricksverse. This was so cool to see in person. But before I knew it, it was time to actually start digging into the boxes, and you never knew what you were going to find. This was a lot more akin to some of the Lego shops that we had visited in Hong Kong, where there were just boxes and boxes full of items. And it was a total blast just going around the bags and being unexpectedly surprised by what we would find, such as those castle battle packs. They even had an entire room dedicated to sealed older LEGO Star Wars sets across all different eras, including some ultra rare store displays too. And yes, they did have a crazy Hero Factory store display I totally wanted to pick up, but just had really no way to get home, which was very, very unfortunate. Of course, they had a great vintage collection as well. You can see some of the classics there, including the Yellow Castle and the Aqua Zone base, some of my favorite LEGO sets ever, as well as all sorts of more modern favorites like Lloyd's Titan Mech from the 2019 Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu wave, as well as the original UCS Slave 1, which is so cool to see. Overall, there were just rows and rows of different sets to find. The Vikings chess set was another crazy find to see here, and while admittedly I did own most of the items here, I did walk out making a pretty substantial purchase that I was able to just add to my collection, full of just older sets that I wanted to pick up that I didn't previously own, as well as just a ton of other random miscellaneous items. It was crazy seeing something like the Nesquik Bunny sealed in a poly bag. That's a super rare LEGO Studios one, and they just had bins and bins full of unexpected items. Sean, of course, honed in on the Fire Temple from 2011 in the box, which we both already owned, but it was still very cool to see it in the box itself, and there were rows and rows of different shelves we were all digging through. You never knew what you were going to find, including a Comic-Con exclusive Brickheads. This one in particular was given away during San Diego Comic-Con and is one of my favorite Brickheads of all time. They also had some Comic-Con exclusive minifigures like the Atom and Black Lightning from the CW superhero shows, as well as the Steve Rogers Captain America and Batman of Zur-En-Arrh, plus a ton of other Comic-Con exclusives like that Ant-Man and the Wasp one, which is super rare. This was our second sealed Indiana Jones Lost Temple set that we had seen on the trip itself, which was crazy because that is an ultra rare set, but that's kind of how it goes here at Bricksverse. You never know what you're going to find. Huge shout out to the owner who was able to actually stock us up with some free gifts as well as some great boba tea as well. So really appreciate the hospitality here and just making sure that we were all treated to a great experience as we entered this store. And overall, it was so much fun just digging through. I had to pick up that Spider-Man 4+ car set sealed because I actually didn't own that one yet. I do now. And there were a couple of Star Wars sets I grabbed as well just because I just had a few missing gaps in my collection. I was checking on Brickset and I realized that I literally am only missing like 5 standard retail Star Wars items, and I actually was able to pick up one of them on this trip, so that was super awesome to see. But before we knew it, we were all done at Bricksverse, and my purchases at Secret Chamber were fully packed up. And so I received a ton of photos of all the Bionicle sets I had purchased safely packed away in a series of boxes, and I still have no idea how these are going to get home to me. There are 15 boxes in total, and that is absolutely nuts. I really have no idea what the process will be to get them home, and I am in talks right now as we speak, near the end of October, still trying to figure out how to get them back home to me, so stay tuned for that. The next day we went on an awesome adventure on Sentosa Island, riding the Singapore luge. We went on a race against each other, more on that in the rest of the vlog, but the next day we also were able to visit one of the flagship LEGO stores in Singapore, specifically the one in Sentosa Island, and they had a pretty interesting GWP. You see, the store was celebrating 10 years in Sentosa, so they had a special minifigure giveaway, a boy and a girl with identical torsos, to be given away if you spent a certain amount of money on LEGO. And so, of course, I decided to go ahead and buy sets that I already owned, because there was nothing for me to buy that I didn't already own, to achieve the threshold to actually be able to get these minifigures. And I'll just have a couple of duplicates, or maybe I'll just give away the duplicate sets, but it was very, very exciting to be able to get a store-specific GWP, which is pretty rare. You don't really see that in the US very often, to have a custom-printed minifigure. It wasn't from the minifigure factory, it actually was an exclusive made for that store with its own element ID, which is super interesting, and I'm very curious as to the production process to actually make something like that happen, because it seems like so many stores in Asia have stuff like that, but in the US we don't really get exclusives in that vein. The Sentosa store itself was also really cool. We got a chance to see an entire build of Sentosa Island in the store itself. They, for whatever reason, were still themed up around Jurassic World, even though that movie had come out years ago, and the last time I was there in Singapore, like 2 years ago, that theming was still there, but it was actually somewhat relevant around that time, so I do find it funny how they just haven't removed that. We of course had to get our passports stamped with the exclusive stamps, one of them saying 10 years in Sentosa, which is super exciting. We happened to arrive at the 10-year anniversary of the store, and this was packed full of everything you would want to see in a LEGO store that is a flagship in its region, like the Mosaic Maker, they had the minifigure factory, everything you would want, and we had a total blast. And as the day came to a close, we regrouped back at the hotel to review the amazing GWPs we were able to pick up. A big reason as to why we went to the LEGO store in Singapore was to get this exclusive LEGO F1 display case GWP, a place for you to display all of your Speed Champions cars. It's an official acrylic display case from LEGO, all branded to LEGO itself, and I just thought that was so interesting. It was definitely one of the heaviest items I had to carry home, but totally worth it, because I've never really seen LEGO do official acrylic display cases before, and this was a super cool item to be able to add to my collection. Of course, I was able to pick up a couple copies of the minifigures as well. You can see the part ID on the Ziploc there, and here's what those two minifigures look like with their torsos reading 10 years in Sentosa, Singapore. Again, these were not printed by the minifigure factory, but instead, they were produced just in the standard way LEGO makes minifigures, which I found to be absolutely fascinating the way they were done. Of course, I took the chance to reveal my haul so far, specifically what I had picked up from Bricksverse, including these sets of Bricktober exclusive Toys R Us Asia packs, a ton of sealed Ninjago polybags, which I wanted to pick up to add to my Ninjago polybag collection, a couple of vintage sets here and there, such as the Ninja set, as well as a sealed Chima Speedors, the Junior's Spider-Man car that I had mentioned, as well as a ton of sealed Bionicle Zamasphere add-on packs, which were very cool to grab. Of course, I had to purchase that extra V19 torrent in order to get the metal dad keychain from Toys R Us, which I mentioned earlier in the video, and I also was given an I Love SG minifigure as a gift, which was super nice. I also picked up a couple of other vintage sets like the Adventure set there, here's another look at that Ninja set, and of course they all did come with figures, plus I got a couple of keychains like the Anachondrite Cultist Kapow, as well as that Green Ninja Lloyd keychain I had mentioned earlier. It's so cool to see the packaging of the Bricktober sets in Asia. They just look so cool compared to what we get in the US, and I even got a Singapore exclusive set of 4 Bricktober packs, the bumper cars, the summer arcade, the ice hockey, as well as the largest of the set of 4, which is buried underneath that bag right there, but this is a very interesting build. It's the idea generator, and it's kind of like a gigantic Lego brick, but each of them have exclusive stickers saying Lego Singapore on them, so these were super cool to be able to add to my collection. Overall, it was so much fun just eventually going through the haul, but the next day we decided to continue our LEGO shopping journey. After visiting the LEGO Employee Hub in Singapore, and there's going to be a completely separate video on that, we swung by the local Toys R Us. There was a mall attached, just in case there was anything interesting to see at the Toys R Us location, because at this point, we did not know what GWPs to expect, so we were checking everywhere.
Yo, Jay! Jay jogging.
Guys, we have to train.
We have to train.
Well, that's
Unfortunately, this Toys R Us didn't really have anything super special to offer other than the standard ones, but it was still cool going around and seeing what sorts of GWPs they did have available. Most of them were just polybags that are available for purchase, but I did find it interesting how this specific one had very specific theme GWPs, like a Minecraft polybag if you buy Minecraft sets, a Technic polybag if you buy Technic, so on and so forth. So there were just interesting promos going on at the same time. This did, of course, also have the metal keychains being given away as a free gift, so if we did want to stock up on more, we could have, but honestly, I was happy with just one, and because it wasn't in the date range to get the second one yet, there was really no need to purchase anything else at this specific Toys R Us. But elsewhere in the mall, we also were able to swing by a local LEGO store. Now, we had seen images of an elusive GWP, a very strange one, simply titled Red Car, and this was exclusive to Singapore, and we were very curious as to how we would be able to pick it up. Well, we swung by this LEGO store, and unfortunately, they had no idea what we were talking about when we brought up the Red Car GWP. However, the previous day, another LEGO store that also didn't have it had told us that Red Car was available at only the pop-up stores, and we didn't really know what they meant by that, but we randomly ran into the legendary LEGO builder, Ransom Fern, who is best known for basically redesigning the Black Panther and Hulkbuster sets, among many others, and making them 1,000 times better. We ran into him at this Toy Outpost store, which is kind of like a secondhand store selling used minifigures and older sets. I didn't pick up anything there, but it was still cool to look around and see what they had. But walking out of the store, I just bumped into him, and it was totally crazy because we had met 2 years prior in Singapore, and it was a total coincidence to run into him again. But he knew exactly what they meant by LEGO pop-up store, and so he was able to navigate us out of this mall, and we headed over to another mall to check out a special LEGO F1 pop-up that they had going on as a special promo for the Singaporean region. And so, as we entered the mall, we went to the standard LEGO store there, got a chance to look around for a little bit, but then they told us that the Red Car GWP was actually not available at the regular LEGO store, but if we went downstairs and outside, we might be able to find the Red Car GWP in the special LEGO F1 pop-up booth, and that's exactly where we found it. This was an entirely separate building and experience to interact with that LEGO had set up outside this mall, which was super interesting, specifically because F1 was in town that weekend.
Red car.
Did they have Red Car?
Red car.
Oh, they have Red Car.
Red car. Red car. Red car.
Red Car was indeed found. This was very funny to many of us because if you look at the build, let's just say the build is not really that up to par with modern design standards, but it is an exclusive GWP, so we absolutely had to pick it up. And the thing is, you had to spend a certain amount of money in the store to be able to get it, and most of that was basically just Speed Champions and Technic sets, so let's see what we ended up getting. Dude, your favorite LEGO theme?
Speed Champions F1? I love. They're none of those right.
There it is.
I love Speed Champions F1 sets. They're my favorite. I love Speed Champions F1 sets. They're my favorite type of LEGO set. I love when the cars go fast, and they're different builds every single time. There's 10 of them, and they're all so different. At least I can experience the thrill.
Experience the thrill. Of course, there was more to do in the store than just shop. Since GWPs sadly did not stack, I decided to go ahead and purchase a single Optimus Prime set so I could do the Ransom Fern rebuild. Obviously, I was very influenced by him being with us in the store, and that only netted me a single red car. Alas. They also, however, had a really cool make and take where you could actually build a miniature version of the F1 cars, but sadly, no matter how many times we asked, they refused to give it to us because we were not children. And sadly, they did not take kindly to my argument that we were kids at heart and were very much not amused by our attempts to try to get the free make and take. Alas. However, getting turned down at the children's make and take area was not the only thing that we were able to do in the LEGO F1 booth. Specifically, they had a competitive game for you to be able to rebuild a Speed Champions car in record time. And of course, I had to race Jonathan Mini Superheroes today to see who would be the best pit crew member. And I'll let you decide who won. So the time to beat is 14 seconds, my Mini Superheroes today. Let's see if Duckworks can do better.
After watching how it all goes.
I know how it all goes. Mini Superheroes was at like 14 seconds. Bro's in the slow lane, you know? But the time to beat is 4 seconds. Let me just say. Okay, so these go here, right? I don't believe somebody got this.
Fail, already fail. Yep, you lost.
Ah!
Fail, dude, just a fail.
I'm going. Fail!
Fail.
Done. I beat Mini. I beat Mini Superheroes.
Yo, tie.
No, run it again.
Tied by the Lego Master.
Run it again.
What are you gonna do?
We're running it again.
What are your thoughts on thank you?
Let's try it one more time. I'll tell you what.
Are we gonna tie break?
And you lost.
You lost.
You're out.
Done.
Oh!
It's okay.
Doesn't count. Piece fell off. Doesn't count.
Doesn't meet the leaderboard either way.
Put you in the top 10.
Hey.
I want
7 seconds.
I want to run it
No, I gotta run it again.
I can't believe this is how I'm spending my last day in Singapore. Piece fell off.
Oh, obviously still counts because it's stuck bricks. I just say it. Yeah, mini tree to okay.
So these go on the sides like that.
It's over.
Okay, we're doing
I'm cooked. I'm washed. With the LEGO F1 pop-up booth fully completed, minus the make and take, which we were not allowed to make and take, we decided to swing by one last old LEGO store, and oh my goodness, am I glad I did this. However, this is also the store that pushed me over the edge. I was totally fine not having to buy another luggage until this next store.
This store was absolutely crazy. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about my haul. I'll show it to you guys a little bit later, but Chris, man, all those sealed sets.
I don't think I can film a haul because I don't think it's all fitting in one room.
There's no
I would
way.
love to see your haul though. The Mini Superheroes Today haul is going to go crazy because there are times on this trip where we split up and I literally have no idea what he bought. So I will be tuning in to the very video you're watching to see his haul right now.
I actually would have to reciprocate the same. We've split up enough, and by the time we meet up, it's just like, oh, here's my bag.
Yeah,
like
here's
we
my
actually
bag of
don't,
100
and
things.
we haven't been staying in the same room for the
No.
last several weeks. Well, I shouldn't say weeks, but the last several cities.
Like 9 days at least, right?
Yeah, so it's been a minute since either of us have seen each other's haul. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Can't wait to see it. Now, the store in question was Toy Station. 2 years ago, I had visited this store and it looked very, very different than the way it looked now. And the reason for that is because we caught them 2 days after they started to pack everything up and move it to a warehouse to be able to let them sit and accrue value a little bit more. We got very lucky in the sense that not everything was fully packed up, but also very unlucky in the sense that we came 2 days after they started packing, so there were a ton of rare items and older sets that they had available that we just weren't able to pick up because they had already been packed away into boxes. Still, that did not stop us from being able to grab a ton of extremely rare LEGO items. It was super cool being able to go around the store and just see what they had available because the selection of sets was super interesting. They had some sealed Bionicle sets, of course, like every store in Singapore apparently has, as well as a ton of sets from my childhood. LEGO Pirates, the older LEGO Star Wars sets. I saw a copy of the motorized walking AT-AT, which was one of my favorite sets growing up as a kid. Some old advent calendars like the 2011 Star Wars advent calendar, a sealed Exo-4 set, one of the sealed Bionicle system sets, and even a copy of the Castle Tic-Tac-Toe set, which nowadays would have just made for an insane army builder. I mean, look at the amount of knights that you get in this set alone. Some of my favorite items to see here were just some of the older items that you could spot on shelves. Going to the superhero section, and yes, this is my footage and not many superheroes today, which is pretty funny because usually he's very focused on the superhero stuff, but it was very interesting to me as a general LEGO fan to see some of these older LEGO items on shelves, like the old Ideas Exosuit, the Women in STEM set, as well as the LEGO Adventure Time set, but then going over, as I mentioned, to superheroes and seeing a copy of the Javelin on store shelves, which is one of my favorite DC superhero sets, and yes, this was sealed and at an insane price as well. They also had the Man of Steel set from 2013 fully sealed. That was crazy to see that there. One of the Black Manta sets, I think that was 2014 or 15, so a lot of older LEGO superhero stuff to see, which was very cool. One of my favorite things to see was the Bionicle system set, the Battle for Metru Nui, and if you don't know, this set might have a chance of including a super rare pearl gold Visorak Carapace in it if it was produced after 2005 in one of the late production runs for 2006. But you don't really know what you're going to get until you open the box, and this was fully sealed, so there was no way to check. Now, taking a look at all of the items in my haul, there were a ton of super special and rare stuff like these gigantic Ninjago minifigures that I totally wanted to add to my collection, as well as just all sorts of different items that were actually priced below retail. They had mentioned that all of their new sets were priced like 15 to 20% below retail, which was super cool because a lot of them were actually cheaper than the US prices, which was totally crazy to see. And it was so cool just being able to bring home all sorts of crazy items from this store in particular. We had a total blast exploring, seeing what we could find, just trying to find all sorts of vintage items, and some of the rarest items we found were just tucked away in back corners, like vintage discontinued LEGO watches. I was able to grab a sealed copy of a Baraki Kalma watch and a Borak 2002 watch, which was so cool, and even on the outside of the store, we were able to see all sorts of rare sets just on display, waiting to be bought. This was a totally amazing way to end our Singapore adventure, and I was so happy after walking out of here, but also so concerned about being able to take everything home. Overall, we had a total blast exploring these crazy LEGO stores in Singapore. Somehow, I feel like the haul from this year was even crazier than the one from 2 years ago, and that was, if you've seen that video, already an insane experience. Of course, I will be following up this video with a few more about shopping on this adventure because this is barely the tip of the iceberg of what we were able to get, and I'll be doing a completely separate video going through all the Bionicle I was able to get once I actually am able to receive them back here in the US. I have no idea when that's going to happen. I have received the initial shipping quotes, and it's going to cost me like $1,500 to ship these home, so make of that what you will. To be fair, there are 15 boxes, so that's like $100 per box, and at this point I have to wonder, was it even worth buying here? Because they were cheaper than Bricklink prices, but if I'm paying $1,500 to ship them home, I think all of those savings have just evaporated. But you know what? It is what it is. I do it for the video, for Duck Bricks, you know, gotta do it. It makes for an insane story saying I just walked in and picked up all these Bionicle sets, so it's gonna happen. I'm very excited to unbox these and showcase them all on the channel. But with that, we have summed up our insane LEGO Singapore shopping adventure. Let me know in the comments, have you been to any of these stores? What are your favorite stores to shop at in Singapore? And thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon. And bye for now.